Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I am Brian James, and we've got Bear in the shop today. We're going to go ahead and tackle this right rear quarter panel. Yikes. All right, so before we get started today, let's roll back to 2 weeks ago when I started this job. Yeah, I actually started this a couple weeks ago, and it went off the rails pretty quickly, and you'll see why. And then we'll meet back here today and keep going. All right, do you guys see how that's pushed in? Oh, maybe an inch, possibly, maybe more. Anyways, got hit in the past, and the body shop just kind of did the best they could with this. Instead of replacing anything, they just kind of hammered and dollied it out and then covered it in mud, and then somehow made the trunk lid fit on there. It was pretty good cosmetics as far as making your eye not go to it. But yeah, we got some rust holes through here, so you know, whatever. This is all kind of bent up through here, you can see. This piece here, follow that, comes in here, and then it kind of squishes. You can see how the seam sealer is separated in there. There's a big gap. Come inside the trunk, and you can see how the seam sealer here is pulled away from that quarter. It's really messy, guys. You can see up underneath there. How we're going to tackle this is in that black case over there. If you can see, it says Pittsburgh Tools on it, so you know where I got it. It is a hydraulic ram. We are going to do our best to brace it inside the trunk and push. Try to get this straightened back out. And then as far as this mess is concerned, Steve was able to get me a pretty good back of the quarter. What's cool is we can go in here and we can see what it's supposed to look like. There is a lot of seam sealer in here. We can chip this stuff away. I don't think we're going to use this entire piece. That's a little scary for me. But if we can get this pushed out and cut out the bad, we can cut out this and get this welded into here. Now, we've got a lot of ball peen marks down here too, so we got to be aware of that. It's kind of, yeah. So let's get started. Okay, here we go. Look at this dude. Got a big hydraulic ram. We have got tons of accessories, as you can see, so I'm sure we can rig something up in the trunk there. It's going to take me a few minutes to figure out how we're going to do this, so give me a sec. I'll be right with you. Kind of funny, this is probably the last thing for me to unbolt on Bear is this bumper jack that I have yet to touch. There it is in all its glory, the suicide machine. So what I'm thinking we can do is we can set up some blocks of wood over here and over here. Get the jack in between, and everything is so solid, none of this is going to move, I hope. We'll pay very close attention. If we start seeing seam sealer split, we're going to stop and we'll just reassess, but I think we're going to be good to go. It's good to have the other side to look at and know, okay, that's how far we need to go, and we can stop. And yeah, I don't know, kind of scary. Well, here is my setup. We've got a piece of scrap angle iron just kind of sitting in there braced. I've got an end. It says 1 ton on it. It's a big rubber ball, so it's got a little bit of give to it. And I've got this hard steel rectangle. We're going to start low and attempt to push, and when we hopefully we get it to where we want it, then we can move up and tackle the next spot. Again, guys, I don't know how this is going to go, but maybe I'll set you up on the other side so you can watch as I watch and see if that starts to move. Ooh, maybe something's doing something now. I hear things. Anything happening, guys? I can't tell. I think it moved a little bit. You can definitely see some seam sealer starting to pop back here. So I've got this part right here, and it's kind of collapsed. And what I've got for this is like a lobster claw. You can jam up in there and it'll open that up. So I'm going to try to do that next. Okay. Just a little bit, make it a little larger gap. Now I can get up in there and really get a bite. Okay. Better. The other side. And let's relieve pressure. That's much better. So, looking at the rear end, what I was just spreading was this gap right here. If you can see that, it was probably, you know, halfway closed on the car. So, whoop, spread that out. Now what we're looking at is this right here is pushed in, so this kind of needs pulled that way. Might be another job for our lobster claw, possibly. Oh yeah, did a little something. Looks like I can get in there with a hammer and tap on that a little bit. Well, folks, I think what's holding me back right now from really stretching this guy is this piece being in here. It is basically shrunk because of all the hammering and whatever they did back in the day. So this piece is actually, I think what it's doing is keeping me from going that way. So if I cut out the bad, that might help us out a little bit. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. Hate to do it, but I think that's what's on the agenda. It's like surgery. You gotta be patient. You gotta be precise. Ugh. Very time consuming. Yeah, this back piece here is all buckled and bent up. It's nothing like the other side, so this is going to have to be replaced as well. Never fun, especially when you're on a schedule. Well, I spent way too much time taking coats of paint and Bondo off this piece. As you can see, we've got a ton of rust pinholes that were covered up. I guess it should be no surprise. I could feel a pretty good dent right along through here. I mean, that could be smoothed out. This down here, man, I should have saw it coming. There's a piece of metal that they stuck in here as a backing plate and then pressed Bondo into it. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do here, guys. I don't think this is worth putting on bare. It's very subpar. Let me do some thinking and see what I'm gonna do here. So guys, what I did was I went ahead and cut up that chunk of patch that we had, even though it was trash. As you can see, it's just eaten away. It's trash. It's really no good. I was just figuring, this is good practice. I can cut it up. You know, I drilled out some spot welds, and I'm just kind of figuring out how exactly I want to do this. When I had Steve cut it off parts car, made sure he left me this little opening where the side marker goes. It helps me line things up with the sheet metal still on the car. This guy doesn't lay perfectly flat yet because, you know, you get all these humps and body lines. There's a body line here, and then this curve where it goes to the trunk. It just doesn't want to lay flat. When you push down, it pulls it up. So I'm just going over in my head how I want to do this, because it's very difficult to duplicate body lines unless, you know, you want to be a master sculptor in Bondo, which I'm trying not to be. There's no damage up here in this corner. So maybe it's going to be, we're cutting out all this stuff. It's a process, that's for sure. Till I talk to Steve and we figure out if we have another patch panel we can use. I'm kind of at a standstill on this corner of the car, so we will see. Okay, that was 2 weeks ago, and yeah, you can see how that could be aggravating, especially when we're on a schedule here. It happens, guys. It just happens. You just got to work through it. And because I've got a guy I can work with who's just killer on acquiring parts, Steve was able to give me this chunk of quarter panel. And I know this one's good. You can kind of tell just by looking at it that this guy is original. I've got a couple magnets here. This is like a flimsy refrigerator magnet, kind of weak, but it sticks right on there. If there was any Bondo or filler on this, it would not stick. Now, if you had a more powerful magnet, we'll just say this chunk here has about a 1/16 of an inch, maybe an 1/8 inch of Bondo still on it. It goes right through it, so you got to be careful when you're out there maybe purchasing an old car and you're, is there any Bondo in this area? Choose the flimsy refrigerator magnet, not the big heavy duty guy. Okay, folks, I got our patch panel cleaned up. Well, it's kind of cleaned up. This is really ugly, to be honest with you. I mean, it's gonna get better. This here, this like yellowy stuff, this is a factory filler, I believe. That'll get taken care of. Don't worry about it. I cut off a lot of the junk we didn't need on this guy. And like I said, that panel will get smaller and cleaned up a lot nicer. What I'm gonna do now is remove this bad section within the blue tape line here. We're just gonna remove this because that's definitely getting replaced. I don't want to cut off more than I can chew at this point, so to speak. I don't want to cut off too much. This is good straight steel all through here, even the top. Down here, some ball peen marks. Those can be smoothed out. I don't know if we're going to go down that far yet, but back here definitely needs removed. Even this section here, but we're not going to do that just yet. I want to see what things look like. By removing this, hopefully that'll give us a little bit of relief as far as stretching the car. We're still about, I want to say, a ½ inch to a ¼ inch off back here. I'll take a finer measurement later once I get this out of here, but yeah, that's where we're at. Let's get to cutting. I'm really sorry, guys. You guys are missing quite a bit. Maybe not. I'm been spending the last few hours making that large panel a small panel, and we don't want to take off more than we need to. And it's very time consuming, and I need to focus. And if I'm trying to do this and move the camera around and stuff, it just gets to be a little bit too much for my little brain. So I've been just focused on getting this right, and we're almost there. I've just been trim the car a little bit. I think I've got a pretty good eyeball on where I want this. It's nice having Georgia out in the parking lot. I can take measurements on her trunk lid width as far as from this corner to that corner, and down low from this corner to that corner. You want to make sure you get that right. Otherwise, when we put the trunk on, it's going to look really bad. So, so far so good. I can tell, you know, with this damage and everything, when it hit, it kind of bubbled this quarter panel out. So I've been in this area here, tapping it in, test fitting, tapping it out, test fitting, tapping it back in a little bit. It's a whole process. So like I said, it's a little difficult for me to keep moving the camera around while I'm doing this. And this is, for me, it's hours of work. So what you're seeing is the extremely condensed version. So I'm gonna keep going until we get this thing fitting perfectly, and then I'll check back with you right before we weld it on. Well, I think I've got it pretty good. I've got some arrows drawn on here to remind me to, you know, kind of hold this thing in place as I tack this way and this way. I'm going to tack this corner and this corner first, and then, like I said, these arrows, just push it in and go for it, right? Everything looks good over here. Sorry guys, I'm just double checking myself. This is nerve-wracking for me. It ain't nuts and bolts. Okay, as you saw, I was zapping a couple tacks here and there, and then kind of walking away, cleaning up some tools, let it cool down, then come back in, boom, 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 and you just keep working your way around the panel, letting it cool as you go, and until you've got it all filled in. Now what I've got is a flapper disc. This is only 120 grit. Usually I'd like to have an 80, but we're going to use the 120 because it's all I got, and we're just going to smooth this out best we can, and we're almost done. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you made it this far, I know this was not an exciting episode. Body work never really is, unless you're painting, right? I'm thrilled with this. It looks very good. All our measurements came out okay. I mean, I'll know for sure when I throw the trunk lid on here and everything is jiving. The measurements from here to here and here to here look great. I said 60 inches from here to here, I think, earlier. It's actually like 61. I about had a heart attack when I was measuring after I welded everything up. I was like, oh no, I got 61. I said it was 60. Went out there, checked Georgia, 61. Okay, anyways, this is about 90% done. I got a few welds to throw on the back here. I'm gonna get it tomorrow. You guys don't need to see it. Just know that it will be done, and it will be done right. Next weekend, I think we'll tow Bear up to the house. That way we can start applying the body filler to some of these dents and dings. We've got a few here and there. Shouldn't be too bad. It's going to take probably the better part of a month to get this all smoothed out and in sealer. And then we'll be very close to starting to paint things. And I've still got to detail the inside of this trunk now that I'm looking at it. Yuck, that's going to be a good time. So anyways, like Forrest Gump said, I think I'll go home now. You guys have a good one. I'll see you later.